Hey everybody, it's going to take people a second to connect. I've got my audio set up again. We're going to do day 2 of the COVID version of the free online yoga class. Let me see if I can silence my phone just to make sure. I don't want anybody calling in. Let me see. There we go. Should have got it where I need it. So today, if you have a tennis ball and a towel, preferably one that your dog is not completely chewed up, that'll work well. Today's episode is sponsored by Dunlop. Dunlop, if you'd like to contact me, I'd be happy to put your tennis balls in all my videos. I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to use these to do some self-massage today. Yesterday we did kind of a basic routine. I'm just kind of walking you guys through. It's a little challenging because I can't see you, but I can slowly walk you through some of it. Again, if this is the first time you're joining us, don't stress, don't strain, don't hyperextend joints. If anything feels sharp or painful, just slowly back out. Don't feel like you have to, force anything. People are really stressed out, and this was one of the ways I could reach out by not even working on anybody, just showing you how to work on yourself. And frankly, you get a chance to hang out with me and watch me do yoga, which I'm happy to do. At some point, I may do a headstand just because I like that particular pose. I don't expect you to do that. In fact, when I do a headstand, what I prefer is you lay down on your back and just get comfortable and kind of go into a quick shavasana just to release any tension, shake anything out. But I particularly like headstand. If you're comfortable with that and you've done it before, feel free, but I don't want you to feel like you have to do exactly what I do. Everybody's range of motion, everybody's strength levels are different. So make the pose a little bit easier. If you can't completely lengthen your hamstrings, bend your leg a little. You're just trying to induce some length into the hamstrings. The practice is more about moving meditation. Hey Mary, how you doing? It's more about being aware of what you're doing while you're doing it. It's not so much being fixated on perfect form. When we're working with bodies, totally different ranges of motion, totally different physical backgrounds. I was in gymnastics in high school and beat myself up, did a lot of stretching and strength training. So, everybody's range is different. I also, in my primary work on a mat, right? My legs and hip mobility are very different than the average American because of the way I use my body. So again, tennis ball. If you want something more firm than this, you can get a lacrosse ball. If you need something smaller, more firm than that, you can get a golf ball, but this will work the same. And I've got a towel because we're going to dampen this and make it not quite so sharp. So follow along, go at your own pace, and always, it's not about the depth of the pose. It's not even keeping up with the timing. It's about your breathing. It's a little difficult for me to maintain really good breath as I'm walking you through verbally, but just follow along and we'll go as we can. Gonna slide off my shoes. Oh, and we'll start off with some sun salutes, kind of like we did yesterday. May add a little bit more today, a little more complexity. There we go. So I'm going to pull up to the front of the mat, and again, hips width distance between the feet. In my case, I'm going to close my eyes. With hips width distance between the feet, you're normally going to have parallel lines from second toe through your heel. Some people say it feels like pigeon toe. They feel like their feet are turned in, but most people have the tendency to stand like this. And that's totally fine. There's nothing biomechanically wrong with this, but for the alignment we're trying to achieve, I want you to turn the second toe through the heel, those lines parallel. Hips width distance apart. This is hips width distance. In Texas, right here. Not Refrigerator Perry, right here. Yeah. So from here, close your eyes and stand tall for me. I'm going to walk you through some of the basic alignment. So I want you to lift your toes and engage the arches of your feet. Then I want you to slowly spread your toes and put them back down. Now maintaining a little bit of that lift in the arch, I want you to lift your kneecaps. So you're not just locking the knees, but you're lifting the kneecaps to engage the quadriceps lightly. Then you're going to squeeze your bottom and tuck your tailbone in, meaning squeezing the abdomen gently. Then shoulder blades. The shoulder blades can roll back and down. And with the head, this is the last solid piece at the top of the head. You're going to tuck the chin gently, lift and lengthen through the crown. Allow your arms to fall by your side, palms facing in. Couple of breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just release any tension that you're currently holding. When you're developing that posture, okay, you'll learn to do this almost without thinking about it. It becomes muscle memory. Don't get too fixated on it at the moment. It takes on more nuance as you do it. But again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or sneeze into your shirt, whichever works for you. And again, big in-breath through the nose. But out the mouth just releases tension. Big arms lifted. And slowly you can walk yourself down and forward, bending the knees. Hanging out. Creating space. Little bit of soreness from yesterday in the hamstrings. Little bit of tenderness. I can feel it in the hamstrings there. I'm going to walk the legs out left to right. And I'm really trying to see little articulations in my spine. I feel stiffness right here, right at, I guess, L1, S5, or L5, S1, said that backwards. Just a little stiffness. Walking the legs out, left to right, back and forth, side to side, creating space in the hips and the lumbar spine. Slowly roll up, back into mountain pose. Big in-breath. Look up. And slowly bend the knees, swan dive forward. Relax the head and neck. That's a constant issue with me, that whiplash I had all those years ago. But I create a little space between those vertebrae. Try to use muscle strength, blood flow, flush stuff around so it doesn't hurt. Helps me manage those soft tissue issues. I'm kind of leaning back and forth, straightening one leg, bending the other, straightening one leg, bending the other. We're back and forth repeatedly. Now, hands down. You're going to step one foot back. In this case, I step to my left, just playing here. Step it back forward. Step the right foot back. And again, just play. Don't think about maintaining perfect posture here. We're just moving through range of motion and exploring. Come halfway up, look forward, lift the head. Big in-breath through the nose. And exhale, fall forward again. Now, left foot back. Find your balance. This leg normally 90 degrees. If you can't quite hold this, if you don't have enough muscular strength, just straighten the leg a little bit. It's totally fine. It's still engaging here. It's still opening in the front of the other leg, but it takes time to build strength in the quads to be able to hold this, and you got to be able to hold your balance, right? If you were looking at me from the front, I've generally got hips width distance between the legs. It's going to help with the balance. I'm going to bend just a bit more. I'm going to lengthen there. Oh, good deep stretch down in the front of my hip. Arms out to the side and rotate. Articulate those joints. Step the left foot back. Elbows in towards your side. Inhale up. Walk it around, left to right. Mobilize the shoulder blades, thoracic spine, thoracic vertebrae. Feel some space there. Don't force, just create some mobility. Then feet under, Down dog. You can walk the feet in just a little bit closer. You can walk the legs out, left to right, side to side, knees bent. It's more important to work on the posture in your spine first. Long, elongated spine. Then, once your spine is lengthened, you can lift and then slowly see how much you can drop the heels down towards the floor. Create space. Move the head and neck around. Then step the right foot forward. You can inch it forward, heel, toe, whatever you got to do to maintain the balance there. Knee bent. This leg generally is straightened, lengthened. Now, if you bend a little bit, does it matter? It's not perfect form, but if you lengthen this leg, you're going to get a little more stretch in the front of the hip there. Yeah. Now, arms wide. Now, range of motion. Turn the shoulders. Lift them around. Play with range. Big circles. Front to back. Back to front. Then, pressure on the right foot. Step forward, forward bend. Bend your knees. By the way, if you want help with your low back and your upper back today, or neck, today is going to be the class. You're really going to enjoy this when we get there. This is just warming up the body. Shake out the head. Bend your knees as deeply as you need to. And slowly stand up. Hips width distance between the feet. Align the feet for mountain pose. Again, kneecaps are gently lifted, quads engaged, gluteals engaged, belly squeezes in, long spine, shoulder blades back and down, palms at your side. Just a little bit of retraction. It would be like somebody just grabbed on the bun of my hair. And not fully pull back, but just a little bit of pull. There we go. Long, lengthened spine. Anytime you need to release tension, exhale out of the mouth. It's a larger pipe, but feel free to go back to breathing through the nose. And again, big in breath. Swan dive forward, walk the legs out, left to right, side to side, back and forth. And right foot back. Big step back, opening through the front of the right hip, bending at the knee here. Your gums are generally facing forward. You can bring your arms wide if you wish. Again, now what happens if we keep our hands at about level to the shoulders? You open as wide as you can through the chest and then close. And then again, big and wide as we swan dive down. Step the left foot back. One push-up. Oh no, 1 at 5 push-ups. Come on now. And up. Feel free to move. Yoga is about movement and mobility. You move into stillness. And downward facing dog. Generally, hips width distance between the hands. Hips width distance between the feet. I want you to keep like a little bit of an arch in your hand and your palm. I want you to walk the legs out side to side. post. Up and through. Again. Now backing up. Yeah. Play with your range. How's it feel in your shoulders? How's it feel on your back? Now, right foot forward. Bend at the knee. Guns and set out to the side, to the front. Long, lengthened left leg. Arms wide. Now, palms together, straight up. Interlace the fingers, stretch up. Hands down. And slowly step forward. Forward bend again. Walk it out. Shake it out. Now, this time we're going to do a little bit of exploration. We did triangle yesterday. I want to do triangle again. I'm going to step the left foot back. Generally, that second line, that line from the second toe to the heel, if I follow that straight back, it's going to hit the arch of my left foot for triangle pose. If I had my arms out, my legs are a little bit closer together than where my hands are. Maybe a foot's distance. I want to lift and lengthen both quadriceps, both anterior thigh compartments, lifting the kneecaps to support the joint. I'm going to tug of war towards the mirror and tug of war away. And again, tug of war towards the mirror. Don't fight the stiffness, just notice where it's at. Now that I've tug of war, I've gone as far as I can through the hip, my spine is still long, just the hands are going to move now. And I'm going to lift the torso, look up over the upstretched hand. As you tuck the chin, turn the head and twist. And back to center. Feels pretty stiff, pretty tight, but we're going to work on this. I'm going to show you. Turn the back foot, and now to the opposite side. Same exact pose, triangle. We're going to reach forward, and reach back. And again, reach forward. I've gone as far as I can. I want to keep the lift on my spine. Just the arms want to move here. Big lift. You can see I'm not going all the way down to the foot. You don't need to go all the way down to the foot. You're just lengthening, opening the chest, lengthening the spine, and creating some space into the hamstrings. If you turn to look up towards the upstretched hand, tuck the chin. Makes it easier on your cervical mobility and cervical spine. And come up. Turn back. I'm going to pigeon toe the feet just a little bit, create space. I'm going to put hands on my back just so I can do a little back bend. A little bit of support here. And back to the front again. Big in breath. Exhale, down and forward. Walk the legs out, left to right again. Hop both feet back. Plank position. Drop down and up. And down dog. Now we're going to explore this. I was trying to think of how to walk you through. I got a lot of balance and practice at this. I'm going to step my left foot more towards the center. I'm going to put some weight here and I'm going to lift the right. I want to lift that leg up and over. If all you can do is this, totally fine. Just explore. What's the range of motion here? What can you do with this foot? How can you move it around? What's the control there? Making little circles with the hip to try to open it.
Then I'm going to replace it with the left foot now. Come back and up. Same as before. What's the range here? What can you do? What can you play with? And both legs down. Back to just down dog. Then hop forward. Forward bend. And for most of you, I want you to hop down onto your back. Oh, I just want you to shake it out. No tension, letting it all go, creating space. Sorry, I can't respond while I'm teaching there, but I'll get to these after the fact. So for you guys, shake it out. Shake out your shoulders, shake out your feet. Create space. Shake out your hips. Release your neck. Don't fight movement, embrace it. Breathe. Shake out the shoulders. Access the upper back. Create space between the vertebrae. Move around the head and neck. Shake out the arms, the legs and feet. And now, grab your tennis ball and your towel. So here's what we got. When you use this, this can be real mean. If it's golf ball, it's sharper, it's even meaner. What I want you to do is the following. For some of you, you're just going to be able to do this without any issue at all. Some of you are not going to want a tennis ball, you're going to want a golf ball because you want more pressure, you want it to be more sharp. But we're going to use this guy to do some self-massage. And much like our current presidential administration, it's going to be a pain in our ass. So, you're going to lay down on your back. Oh. And if you're like me, I'm going to take this out so my head can sit flat. And here's what happens. If the tennis ball is too sharp, I can put the towel on top so that when my keister comes down over here, it's not going to be as sharp. I can fold that towel up twice if I need to. I just don't want this to be too pointy, like an elbow. I want it to be firm, but I don't want it to be too much. I'm going to start on my right side. I'm going to start kind of in the middle between the tailbone, and the top. Oh, President Trump. Oh, I feel you there. Oh, Biden. Oh, is that Bernie? Oh. So, to minimize the pressure here, I can put the foot down. I can shift my body weight on top of the tennis ball as much or as little as I want. The spot that you're hitting is pretty dead square in the keister. Anything in the flesh along the gluteal should be completely fine. In fact, those of you who are having problems with like pain running down the back of your leg, it's usually from a case of tight ass. It's what I call American average. Piriformis. It's a muscle in your gluteals. It means pear-shaped in Latin. Piriformis, shape of a pear. When that muscle gets tight, it'll press on the nerve trunk, that sciatic nerve that goes down the back of the leg. Now, I can put this leg in whatever position I want. Now, if I wanted more, which in my case, I can't even take this right now, it's tight enough. What would happen if I, oh, 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 that's the entirety of the Trump administration right now. Oh. So, could I rest here with the leg down? Sure. Any kind of movement, rotation, what if I cross my leg? Sure, totally fine. Oh, I'm getting like a dull kind of referred pain out to the outside of my knee. It's this dull kind of ache. Now I'm going to roll off of that for just a second and I'm going to switch sides. You're not going to be able to see it, but same basic thing in the gluteals. This already feels much, much more open just in that little bit. Again, if it's too sharp, put the blanket on top. It's going to dampen the pressure. Means that I would put it down, put the towel on top, and lay down on top of it to create a little bit more dampening effect, not quite as sharp. Oh. Oh. I'm going to move mine a little bit higher. Feel a little more tension high. Oh, right there. Ooh. Ooh. Now what if I just wanted to sit just like this? Here's the deal. I know this isn't classical yoga. You're going to get a greater degree of sensitivity and awareness by using tools to be able to access your nervous system, to be able to get things to open and unwind more rapidly. I think you're going to gain mobility and you're going to gain strength more rapidly by increasing awareness using tools. Okay? Now I'm going to lean just a so that right, just like I was stretching my hamstrings, you're like right, ooh, right, oh, right there. Now what I do is I try to release tension along the rest of my body and breathe. You can explore either gluteal. Doesn't matter if you're on the left, doesn't matter if you're on the right. I want you to keep going through those, working from side to side. I want you to open up these gluteals. Now, if you wind up in a position where you feel like you want to go a little more to the side, okay, totally fine. Is it soft? Are you hitting the greater trochanter of your femur, this kind of bony knob on the side of your hip here? If you're pressing into bone, not so fun. If you're pressing into skin and pressing into tissue, totally fine. Intense is okay. Pain is not. Intensity gets my attention. Intensity gets my focus. Pain says back off. Right? So, I'm going to turn just a little bit more to the side. Oh, across my legs just because that feels comfortable to me. Oh, right there. Now I can stack my body weight and breathe. And in my case, I'm going to roll back. I'm going to go to the opposite side. I'm going to see if that little bit of a turn, little bit of a, ooh, yeah, it's tender right there. Oh, oh. And again, no shame. If you need to put down the towel, doesn't matter. You're just simulating, like, what would it be like if you got a session with me and I put my knees in your gluteals? A lot like this. Very, very similar. I just take my time as a body worker to knead through there and help you work out that tension. In this case, I'm just showing you a way of doing this to yourself. It not only helps what we're doing in session as a supplement, but it empowers you to be able to work on yourself when needed. If you want more, what do? Oh, lift the leg. Oh, move it around. Oh, contemplate the fate of our world in a global pandemic. And the Trump administration. Oh, as much or as little as you want. Now, come back to center. I want you to move the legs and hips around, almost like you were massaging your sacrum down on the mat. And from here, I want you to feel, where do you feel more tension? Is it on the right side or the left? It's not a judgment, it's just where you feel it. I feel more on my right side, so I'm going to put the tennis ball over here. I'm going to put it where I think I feel more tension right there. Don't forget to breathe. You'll always hold your breath when something gets intense. You get stressed, you tend to breathe shallow. I want you to try to fill your ribs. Fill your lungs. Use your diaphragm. Oh. Stack your body just right to hang out in that spot. If you need to move it, shift a little bit lower. I feel a broad, deep, preferred pain all down the outside of my leg. It starts to wrap like into my knee joint on this right side. This is not a judgment, I just notice it. Maybe I just hold tension there. I've been doing a lot of yoga lately. Not as limber, right? I'm going to slowly roll back to center again. Move it around. Now, I think at the moment I feel pretty balanced on either side. Both hips feel pretty open, and I wanted to do that to show this to you, to give you more body awareness as we go through these poses, all right? So before we did triangle pose. Yesterday we did triangle pose and we did proud warrior, or warrior 2. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do triangle pose again. So I'm going to stand up at the front of the mat. My feet are facing forward, hips width distance apart. And here's what's going to happen. My hips feel completely different right now. This entire area feels vastly different because of that pressure in my gluteals. I'm going to step back with my left leg. Again, if I follow this line, second toe to heel, it'd run right through the arch. This front foot, in my case, the right foot is like this. The left foot is behind it. It's like that line would run right through the arch. Now, I'm going to lift and lengthen both legs. I'm engaging. I'm not like locking the legs per se. I'm just engaging the quads, lifting the kneecap. I'm going to reach forward. Tug of war again, towards the front. Tug of war again, towards the back. Holy moly, my legs feel different. Now, I'm going to reach forward, lifting through here, right? Now, what happens if I bend a little bit? That's okay. It's not quite as deep through the hamstrings, but generally I want you to try to engage the quads. It's going to support the joint over the knee. You're reaching out. Now, triangle. What's the difference in your legs, in your hips? So there is a method to the madness. Using props is a great way to open up your mobility, to increase body awareness, and show you what your nervous system is actually capable of. This is much easier this time than it was before. Long, lengthened spine, arms pulling apart, lifted through the chest. Lift. Now, just like before, come up and switch sides again, just like we did previously. Triangle pose again, opposite side. Find your good balance. You can lift the toes if needed, engage the arch. Reach forward. Reach back. Reach forward. And see how much easier it is on this side. Oh, it just feels So I feel tension in my legs, I feel tension in my hamstrings, my hips. All of this is just completely mobile, has a ton of play, a ton of room for me to open up. Don't collapse, lift. Breathe. And slowly up, just like yesterday. Toes pigeon just a little bit. Roll down forward. You can bend the knees. Lengthen the spine. And slowly come up. You're going to come up to the front again. Hips width distance between the feet. Good, mountain pose. Big in breath. And swan dive forward. Step both feet back into plank. And one push up. Come on. 2 push ups. 3 push ups. We can do 2 more. Come on. Move it around. Play. Why not? 2 more. And down dog. Walk it out. And slowly turn around, down onto your back again. Now, back to our old friend. Tennis ball, towel. We're going to walk this now into the upper portion of your body. Meaning we're going to go back behind the shoulder blade. I want to give you a better view here. This is all in the flesh. If it's hitting bone, ow, ow, ow. If it's flesh back here, totally fine. We're really going right into infraspinatus. Infra, below red on the light spectrum, infrared. Infraspinatus is below the spine of the scapula. So right in here, I'm going to do it on this side first. If you need the towel, it's totally fine. I'm going to lay this guy down. That's about at my shoulder joint. I want it a little bit lower. Ooh. Let's see. I have to roll around a little bit. See if I can find it. Ooh. Ooh. So tender. Roll it in. Ooh, right there. Now, you can see my shoulder joint is up here. The tennis ball is just a little bit lower. Oh, you get kind of a dull kind of ache down my arm here. I want to be able to lift and move this guy around. Mobilize the arm. Working on there. Ooh. Ooh. Now, lift and roll that off. Just put it down for a second. It already feels different in my shoulder joint. So 2 spots in the upper back. That was around the shoulder blade, right? Now we're going to move it into that constant problem. I'm on the right side of my spine, but I'm between the shoulder blade. Holy moly. Between the shoulder blade and my neck. Just moving around right there. The tennis ball's all on the right side. It's not pressing on the spinous processes. It's just to the right. I want to move my head and neck around. I can. I want to move the shoulder and shoulder blade. I can deliver more pressure by stacking body weight in different ways. So that's point 2. Now, I want you to move it up. As long as you're on the right side, can you put the tennis ball maybe just to the right side of the base of your skull? Just at the suboccipitals. A little bit of movement there. If you need to put hands around the tennis ball to balance, you can support the head there and prop. Breathe. Now, could you move it down? Sure. You can put this anywhere in the neck that feels good, so long as you're just on the right side, in the posterior, not pressing directly on the spine, just pressing in the muscles. Oh, right there. Ooh, man. That took me a second, but that was it. Oh, I feel that in the center of my being. Ooh. Oh, right there. Now, take this guy out. I'm going to put him on the towel just for a second. Now, as we're laying here, I want you to compare your right upper quadrant here with the left upper quadrant. What's the difference? How does it feel? This side, in my case, what I just worked on, is so open compared to the left. This is where we're trying to go. This is where we're trying to work. This is what we're trying to create in our body, the kind of relaxation. So now I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to reach out now. I'm going to scoop down because of where the microphone is. But now this guy's going to go at the back of my shoulder blade. Again. Oh. Oh. And you know, if you didn't have a tennis ball, I didn't think about this, but you know, could you put a bar of soap in a rag? Could you find something that was around the same size and just wrap it in a towel? Oh, it's a little more dense on my rotator cuff on this side. I'm going to stack my body weight just on top there. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Ah. Right around the rotator cuff. I'm going to rotate the head of my humerus and get some movement through there. Working on through infraspinatus. Oh, right at the back of the shoulder blade. It was intense, so I'm going to roll off for a second. And I'm going to go into spot 2, which is right at the top. Right at the junction between the shoulder blade, between the neck. Maybe go a little bit lower along the paraspinals. So long as you're pressing into the left side of the spine, in the musculature, along the spine. Good spot here. I'm going to go a little bit higher. You can go a little bit lower, depends on you. Oh, yeah. Now, I can stack body weight in any way to make this more or less intense, depending on what my body needs. That was spot 2. Spot 3, we're going to go up towards the base of the skull, this time on my left side. If I need to, I can put my hands on either side of the tennis ball, just like this, just to surround it, so I got somewhere to support my head. Oh, right there. Oh. And breathe through the nose. If you start to feel uncomfortable in your low back, can you windshield wiper? Can you move around? Yeah. Don't feel like you have to be stuck in place. We're trying to increase mobility, increase awareness and strength. Oh, that's a good spot. I want to move it just a little bit higher and a little bit more towards the center in my case. Oh, right there. Holy moly. And if you want to move it down the neck, so long as you're on the left side, along the muscles there, where do you want to go? Where do you want to press? Totally fine, as long as you're on the left side of the spine at this point. Oh, that's intense. Wow. Get back off just a little bit. Whew. And just like before, take this guy out, put it down on your towel. Now, how do the sides feel? Left to right. What do you notice?
Because now my left and right side feel pretty balanced. I don't feel like I'm holding tension in one more than the other. It feels like we're pretty good on both sides. So we're going to move on to the next piece. And we're going to change this for a second. We got this tennis ball out, so I want to use it. We're going to come back to standing, right? We talked about mountain pose, standing in mountain pose, being in mountain pose, proper alignment, right? We don't feel any tension in our feet. No tension in our feet, right? Wrong. Watch this. So put the tennis ball down. I want you to have good balance on your left leg. You're going to step on with the right, and you're just going to massage the plantar surface of your foot, okay? Now, this is just like all the other stuff. It's a little intense, but you don't want to hurt your foot. It's not pain, it's not sharp, just massaging the bottom of your foot. Tons of this self-massage in my yoga classes. In fact, I asked my students at one point if we could stop calling it yoga, and they said, are we going to do the same stuff? I said, yeah. And they said, yeah, we don't care. Yoga has gotten a weird change in the last 10 years or so in discussions about what it is, its background, its history, its cultural background. Massaging the bottom of my foot. Now, if you find a good spot and you're like, whoa, man, right there, hang out. You can roll the tennis ball around. You can move in the plantar surface of the foot, right in there. Ooh. You can lean down with a little bit more pressure if you want. And feel free, it's almost like my tarsals, like the foot bones are just gently kind of molding around. Like I'm feeling some movement through there. Just working on the bottoms of my foot. Now, put this guy to the side, and I want you to do mountain pose again. So you're going to stand up front and check this shit out. I know you're going to be amazed. Now, tell me, how does the right foot feel compared to the left? Does the right foot feel more grounded? Does it feel more spacious? Does it feel more open? Lift your toes, engage the arches. Do you feel more rooted on that left side? So now we're going to do left side. Same thing, but we're going to make the left foot feel as good as this right foot does now. Wow, it's so open. Right in here. Working through the plantar surface of the foot. Oh, it's a little bit tighter on this side, to me. My left foot feels a little tighter, a little bit more tense, a little bit more dense, restricted. Feels a little bit more intense on this side as I press. Ooh, trying to find a good spot. Oh man, right in there. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, right in there. Ooh. Ooh, right at the top, right where my heel is, right where those muscles go in and insert. Oh, right in there. Now that I've got some pressure there, it's almost like the tarsals are spreading over the tennis ball. I'm just engaging some movement, moving the toes, moving the tarsals through there. Whew, that was intense. Now, a little more to the inside, a little more to the outside. Here we go. Back in the center. Wow. So much tension right there. You could easily spend 5 to 10 minutes a foot doing this. Easily. Very, very easy. Once you start learning the basics of musculoskeletal anatomy and start working with your own body, lots of benefits to your sense of well-being, your overall mood. Now, I'm going to roll this guy out of the way. Now, mountain pose. Holy moly. Close your eyes for a second. Feel how connected you are to the ground now. The difference in your feet specifically. really open. So for this next piece, I want you to roll down into where you feel tension. If it was in your gluteals, you can work there. If it was in your upper back, you can work there. If it was in your neck, you can work there. I'm gonna have to check and see what our time is. I can't even see it. Yeah, coming up on 7 minutes. So I'm gonna walk you along towards Shavasana. I want you to pick a spot wherever you want, self-massage, the spots that we've already done. You're just gonna work on yourself for a second as I get you guys ready for Shavasana. So you can work in the gluteals again. You can work in the rotator cuff. You can work in the upper back. You can work in the neck. Does not matter. Myself, I'm gonna do a headstand. Work on yourself slowly. Feel the tennis ball sink in and create space. Breathe through your nose. Feel free to move it around. Hit another spot if you need to. Where do you feel the tension? That's what we're trying to release first and foremost. When I teach yoga, I've got to make you feel better. If I can't make you feel better, I've lost the battle. Lost the battle with stress and tension. I want to open that up. Create space. Make you feel nice. And onto your back. You can move this guy again to the side. Just going to walk you through Shavasana, just like we did yesterday. That last pose. So, I'm going to lift my head and neck up, kind of take away any curve almost in the neck. Just means I'm lifting, lengthening the neck, letting it find a normal space. I'm going to press the back of the head down and then tuck the shoulder blade down and under. Tuck the other shoulder blade down and under. Tuck the shoulder blades. I'm going to lift with my feet and roll out my lumbar spine. Legs a little bit wider than hips width distance apart. You let them fall open. If you need to bend your legs for your low back, feel free. Now, squeeze the feet. Contract and squeeze, and after a big in-breath, exhale, let the feet go. Then calves, point the toes, squeeze the calves, tightening the lower leg, and on an exhale, relax, release, let go. The quads, you're going to straighten your legs, lifting the kneecap, your heels may lift. Squeeze the fronts of the legs. And as you exhale, relax, release, unwind. And right into the gluteals. As you do this, your hips are going to lift, squeeze your bottom. And on the exhale, relax, allow your sacrum to rest down on the ground. Moving our way up the body, we're going to engage the abs, squeezing the navel down towards the abdomen.
down towards the spine and the floor. As you exhale, release, let go. Then to open the chest, press the shoulder blades. Press the shoulder blades down into the floor. Squeeze the scapula, squeeze the shoulder blades, press them down, kiss the floor with the shoulder blade. And as you exhale, relax and unwind. Then the arms, open the hand big, press the backs of the hands down, contract the tricep, press down, squeeze the arms. And let it go as you exhale. Then, right into the neck. My neck, there's this long length here. I'm going to press the back of my head down and tuck my chin. Opening those cervical facet joints. Lengthening through the neck muscles. Squeeze, and as you exhale, just relax, release, let go. Into the jaw and face, you're going to gently contract, squeeze the jaw, grimace, make a face. And as you exhale, let it go, let it release. Now, just like we did with the tennis ball, we were using it as a massage tool. Scan your body from your feet all the way up towards the top of your head. Feel through every little muscle and joint. Where do you feel tension? If you're still holding tension somewhere, I want you to gently squeeze the musculature there. Tighten it up just a little bit. And see if you can hold that for a breath or two. Then as you exhale, relax, release, unwind. Breathe through your nose. Eyes closed. Allow your bones to feel like they just fall apart. If I throw a gold coin over the side of a ship, it just sinks through the water unceasingly. That's what happens. The bones fall apart just like that coin. The muscles relax and release. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly rock in your lumbar spine. You can roll onto your right side and lift yourself. You can come to seated, cross-leg position. You can pull the flesh away from your bottom. Pointer finger and thumb can meet on either leg. Shoulder blades backing down. Neck retraction. If somebody grabbed my hair and just pulled my head backwards, just a touch. Just a lift and length on the cervical spine. Breathe. Hands in prayer position. Big in-breath. Long spine. And as you exhale, bow, honoring your practice today and all your hard work. You can shimmy through your hips, honoring where your mobility is. And namaste. Thank you guys again for class. I will probably again tomorrow go live at 4 to 4:30, but I will write everyone on my social media accounts to let them know that that's going to happen. If you want to practice any of these after the fact, feel free.
This will probably give you a series of 4 or 5 little classes that you can go over yourself, just some of the basics that I teach in my classes. Hopefully the online instruction will improve, and over time I'll be able to work with you even more interactively with your yoga practice. If you're interested in the things that I offer, if you're a massage therapist, we have a free carpal tunnel class that's available. You can go to my business page here and see a link down below. If you want to support me, you can join our subscription service. We have about 500 hours of my classes and instructional teaching in video form available. If you're a body worker, yoga teacher, somebody wants to use that as a householder working on friends and family, it's completely free for your first month. You can see almost everything I've taught in 2 years. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks again. You guys stay safe and sane, and I hope you're quarantining and having as much fun as you can. Thanks you guys for tuning in.